Yo, got some windshield time. Thought I might lay some good info on you guys. Just want to tell you guys about how I was getting started in business back in the day. 17, almost 18 years ago now. I guess really 18 years plus. But damn, I'm getting old. Man, I never went out by myself. I was never mowing grass alone. I was never mulching beds alone. Everything I did, I brought one or two people with me. Honestly, probably at first more for companionship than help, just to be honest. I also didn't really know what I was doing, so another brain to help me figure it out was always good. I definitely know what I'm doing now, as is, I think, probably evident from my videos, but I did not used to know a damn thing. I didn't even know how to run a weed eater or a blower when I started my business. All I had done was pushed my dad's lawn, and I had done mulching, and I had done bagging, and I'd done some leaf cleanups. And I mean, my dad made us work around the yard all the time, but never made us run the weed eater, never made us run the blower. In fact, I don't even recall having a weed eater or blower growing up. I mean, we must have had one. I just don't remember it. But guys wonder, how did your business get to, how do you have 14 guys? How do you run 6 crews? Well, I'll tell you how, because I've always had guys. So anytime I've had guys, I've been learning how to manage them, how to use them best, how to identify their skill sets and use, the individual skill sets to benefit everybody, But it's also just structuring your company, because there comes a point where if your company's not set up to have employees, then employees aren't going to enjoy being at your company. So, and I don't just mean benefits. Benefits are important, but I mean all the back end stuff too. I mean, you got to have employee handbooks, and you got to have attendance policies in those handbooks, and dress codes in those handbooks, and examples of misconduct, and cell phone use policies. And I mean, there's a million things that you've got to do. And so in order to have something like that, you're the business owner, you're the one who decides what those rules are, right? So you've got to write it down. Otherwise, it's just wishy-washy. Nobody knows what to expect. A lot of business ownership is creating and setting the expectation and making it clear to your staff and to really anybody in your organization or who works with your organization as to how you handle things, so that there's not disparity. The problem becomes that so many things in life depend on something else, and sometimes it takes some pretty in-depth flow charts, if-thens, to be able to put something in writing and do it accurately. And sometimes you got to put it in writing and do it wrong a bunch of times before you finally figure out how to do it right. But a business at the end of the day is a set of systems, and those are the systems, and they've got to be documented so that they can be reproduced. And when I talk about systems, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about little stuff like that, but it goes even further into what are the responsibilities of each employee or each crew lead, or, if there's managers, or if there's an office person or just a phone person. I mean, what are their responsibilities? That needs to be clear. And then the pay should be somewhat related to those responsibilities along with the performance of the employee. And then obviously with the opportunity for growth with the company based on their contributions. I mean, the funny thing is guys, you can do all this stuff right in business. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, on the right path, doing the right stuff. Employees still don't stick with you. I've tried to hire so many people. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guys. Like, I would guess that I've, over the course of my life, have employed somewhere near 500 people, mostly young men, but also a lot of young women. People with special needs. I mean, old, young, you name it, I've given them a chance. And I've tried to work with them, and it doesn't work out all the time. You know what I mean? It just, honestly, it doesn't work out almost all the time. But it's kind of like being in a relationship. And what I used to talk about with my buddies is like, hey man, it's an odds game. You put enough feelers out there, eventually you're going to get lucky. If you keep trying, the odds are in your favor. So don't give up. Keep trying. Keep documenting your processes. Keep writing out how you do stuff. Keep writing out what the expectations are for your staff, and then communicate that to them, right? Communicate that to your team, and from there you can start growing. Then you have something to build and grow off of. Obviously, if you can retain your employees, that's the best way to grow. But retaining a poor employee and encouraging bad behaviors that don't fall in line with your policies is going to kill your business in the long run. So it's really tough to find the line of what's acceptable and what's not. And so, try to use your policies to your benefit. One of the things that we do that's super cool is we have a attendance policy that's a democracy. So we actually vote on whether or not somebody gets fired if they stop showing up to work. Or usually it's not that they don't show up, it's usually that they show up late. The guy who always is late, or he has to miss like one day a week, or it's always just something with him. Well, we vote. Is this guy working hard? Is this guy a guy we like who's just going through a tough time and he needs to be given more grace? Well, you know what? You can't put all of that into writing to tell somebody how to handle the situation, but what we can do is we can say, all right, well, our policy is that we're going to have a discussion and a vote based on it, and anybody who is a manager or a crew leader gets a vote. And if there's a tie at the end of the day, the boss, myself, makes the tiebreaker. So, my vote inevitably could count as 2. But if I get overruled, and that's only fair. That way, it's the fairest system for everybody, right? It's the reason we have a democracy in our country. It's supposed to be fair. I think all in all, it generally is. So anyways, those are my thoughts. I'm about to my destination, guys. I hope you all have a great day. I hope that my rambling and my thoughts helps everybody, and maybe you can learn something and benefit and grow and get yourselves ahead in life and take care of the people around you when you do it, guys. Have a good one.